Rick. He is not here, but we do got Dillon, and hopefully we got some good picks lined up. Hopefully, going to make a little bit of money back. I got the sheet right here. We're going to go over. I think all right, me and Dad tied or somebody. Dillon, I don't know, buddy. How did you do last week? I don't did. What was your record? I can't remember. We'll have to go over that. We'll trust me.
Hmm.
We'll be sure to get into that tonight. But we only got NASCAR to pick this week, Dillon. We're going to Michigan. Hot off the heels of somewhat, I say later in the race, boring Nashville race. But Ryan Blaney coming off his win, first win of the season. Looking forward to kind of seeing how the rest of the season goes for him. We already knew it was a matter of time for him to win. But now that he does he got momentum? What do you think, man? What you got?
No, no, he's not going to go back to back. Um, I don't think the momentum's there for Michigan at least. But I
Really?
cause, just because I don't know, I don't think the Fords are the best at here at Michigan.
Okay. Okay. No, I'm gonna have to. I did not pull up my driver averages yet. I have to get into that. But have you looked into any stats? What are you feeling right now? Anything that you're kind of leaning toward? Not get trying to give too much away, but like, what are you kind of leaning towards?
Yeah, I'm just kind of looking over the last year's summary and all of that. Um, I see a lot of Chevys led some laps, and there was a couple of Fords that did lead some laps, but yeah, mainly Chevys seem to be the big number. But Toyota won last year, so
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Who did win last year? I can't remember. I know it was a Toyota, but who was it? Was it Denny or somebody? Or
it was Tyler Reddick.
well, we've lost your camera. You talked about it.
Oh,
We already knew about this was going to be a problem. You said,
yep, I wasn't paying attention.
all right,
Yeah, we got Tyler Reddick won last year.
Tyler Reddick. That's right. That's right. Hey, 2311 needs a little turnaround, especially after today's news, with NASCAR getting a win, on the in the court system. So, looking to see how that may affect maybe some of these guys this weekend. So, we'll see if that bleeds over into the racing there. But I'm trying to think another person that I've kind of looked at that I think Dad looked at. We have Dad's picks. We have Rick's picks already. And I'm looking at driver averages right here, and I'm seeing somebody that I know he looked at driver's averages, and he definitely picked somebody that's won here before. So we'll get into that. But I don't know. To me, I want to go like Chevrolet, but looking at it, I just know some of these guys don't. Looking at the best averages right here, top averages since 2022. Uh, some of the top guys. I mean, I don't even know what Zane Smith. What he would have been in a Chevrolet last year, but he's in a Ford this year. But you got Toyota. Let's say he's a Ford now, Zane Smith, but Toyota, Ford, 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 Toyota. He's in Chevrolet now, Carson Hosevar, Chevrolet, and then you got Ford, Toyota was last year, Martin Truex Jr., then Toyota, and then Chevrolet with Daniel Suarez, Kyle Larson, and then Toyota, Chevrolet, Ford. So not a lot of variety with Chevrolets in there, but it's a lot of mostly Toyota and sprinkled in some Fords. So, or vice versa, one of the two there. But so it should be pretty interesting, I think, on if Chevrolet can get a win. So I don't even remember the last time they won there. So I don't know. But anyways, other than that, any thoughts about did you want to comment on the ruling thing? Did you want to see how talk about that at all or no? I didn't get to read too much into it, so
Yeah, we don't have to go too far into it, but I I didn't really know what to expect for the ruling for this case. Well, there's two different cases I think going on, right? But
yes.
for this particular case, I don't know. I was kind
Yeah.
of on the fence about it. I didn't really expect it to go one way or the other. So when I heard the ruling today, I was I don't know. Well, I mean, I guess I was a little shocked, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you're tuning in, basically what happened is NASCAR won their injunction, I think is what it was, or got their. It's the U.S. Court of Appeals has ruled in favor of NASCAR and vacated the injunction requiring NASCAR to treat 2311 and Front Row as a charter teams. So don't know how that's going to go for them guys, but like you said earlier, I mean, they kind of made their own bed last year, deciding not to sign the charter agreement, the two teams, and going with the lawsuit and everything like that. So they got to lay in it now. They got to kind of figure it out. So it's going to be interesting to see, and kind of like when we get into our picks, does that? I wonder if anybody took that into account. Which today, I don't know if when y'all made your picks, but don't know if anything comes into account with that. So we'll see. But I don't know,
I,
man. I don't know.
I think that I expected it to play out in 2311's favor for this case, but then the big case, I didn't really know how that was going to go. But I did expect them to win, at least for NASCAR to treat them as charter teams until that bigger case gets settled.
Yeah, yeah, um, yeah. So we'll see. Time will tell on all this.
I,
I don't know if anything else come out. That's just what I seen today on that. So we'll
I
see
feel
how
like
the time goes.
I feel like that kind of definitely sets the tone.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. And that's got to be in the back of Denny's. This could even affect Denny, like as far as the drivers themselves at 2311 and that whole organization. But it's got to be in Denny's mind because he's on the latter end of his career. How does this affect him and his job? So I don't know. It's going to be interesting though. All right, let's get talking about Michigan. Let's get to it here. Before we get to our picks, I know this Michigan has changed a little bit with these new cars. It's not really kind of like what we saw back in the day, early 2000s and everything like that. They did go through a repave. I can't remember how long ago that's been, but ever since then the track's kind of just been, well, would you say like at least two grooves that they kind of race, like the low and then the middle? Would
Yeah,
you say something like that?
yeah,
Yeah, because I remember back in the day, and this is not necessarily the track's fault. I don't know how that I don't know if they reprofiled it when they did it either. But I remember like Casey Kane and all them guys mid 2000s before all that, they were running up near the wall on both ends, or at least one end. And now these guys don't get past middle of the track. But that could be a testament to the car, and then either the lack of grip up top, obviously. But like I said, I don't know if they reprofiled that up there or not. But this car is, I mean, I mean, the last couple of times we've seen it, I think it's been kind of a drafting ish type track where the aero blocking is very sensitive on this. So, I mean, your thoughts on what we're looking forward to this weekend?
yeah. I think for the aero blocking, you're always going to run into that at anything over a mile,
Yeah,
especially with something as wide open as this track is. Just the width of it. You're a lot of places to try to move around. The space is there, but
yeah,
it's going to be kind of a blocking game. Whoever gets out front, they have control of the race. They can control that to the best of their abilities. Um, I just honestly, I feel like it's typical next gen stuff of saying, okay, well, race itself probably is going to be a little boring, but the restarts are going to be kind of crazy and obnoxious.
yeah,
That's kind of the tone of the next gen. I think at least these mile and a halves that aren't treated like super speedways. Like in Atlanta or something like that.
yeah, yeah. And I think the key, like you said, restarts and track position not being lost on pit road, or, I mean, even getting them to get you gaining ground on pit road, and that and pit road and restarts have been the biggest factor, especially with these types when you have the aero sensitivity and stuff like that on most of these tracks nowadays that are this size, that aren't drafting tracks. It's a big deal. You make up a lot of your time and a lot of your ground either on the restart or on pit road. So it's kind of crazy how pit road has kind of come into this being a lot bigger of a factor than it used to be with the passing problem that we have now with these cars and everything like that. So that'll be interesting to take into account. I don't know. I know normally our picks are kind of just of people who are fast or generally or people that can squeak out a win. So, but I don't know. I don't know what direction I'm going to go on the win this weekend. Before we dive into our picks, let's recap last week. I know we have no Formula One this week, but we'll recap those real quick before we dive into our first top 10 picks. Dillon, buddy, going over your picks here, man. You had Hamlin, which that could have been something there. I think the traffic, like we were talking about, dirty air really cost him there. You had Bell for a top 3. He spun. Maybe that damage maybe had something to do with it later on in that race, maybe. But I don't know what I mean. Are you trending that way this weekend or what?
I don't. I'm hoping to trend the opposite way of how my picks went last weekend. So,
I mean,
uh,
that's 2 Toyotas, top 2 right there. I mean,
oh yeah, no, we're not picking 2 Toyotas in the top for winner and top 3 for sure.
okay.
Actually, I went Toyota, Ford.
Yeah.
We're gonna
You
add
did.
some mixture in there this week.
Okay, looking forward to it. You did have Logano that you did hit on for a top 5, so congrats on that. Moving down the Priest top 10 didn't hit, so it is what it is on that. Sorry. Your dark horse was Brad Keselowski, so I don't know where Brad finished either on that. So got lost in the sauce. Let's going over Formula One picks. You had Max as the winner. Didn't happen because my guy Piastri took home the win there. You went with me with Hamilton on top 3, and we both don't. I don't know. I like a brain fart on that pick. I think at one point on the show I said I was never picking him again, and all of a sudden I did it again. So I'm putting that back on the list there. You picked Albon. I picked I think I had Signs for a top 6. So Williams had a terrible time there. But you did hit Hadjar. We both look like geniuses on that. Actually, and Dad. So we all 3 look like geniuses on the Hadjar pick there.
Yeah.
So that wasn't bad. Now let's get into Rick's. We're gonna roast him real because he's not here, so he'll have to watch this and just see how bad he picked. He did better in Formula One than he did in NASCAR. He had Larson, which Larson had a terrible day. So we know how bad that was. He did have Hamlin though, top 3. He did get that. Chastain, which he had from top 5. I had Chastain for the win, which I look like a complete dummy for that because there was nowhere near that. And he had Barry for a top 10. He did have Charles and he did have Hadjar for a top 3 and top 10. So he kind of stole the Hadjar pick from us. I'm going to say that that's where he got it from. So we're going to say Dan kind of cheated on that. But he did pick the right Ferrari though, so that works. And then your win. Me and Dad tied. Obviously, I had Blaney top 5. Blaney obviously got the W. So, and truthfully, I picked 2 winners this weekend or last weekend. So technically, I'd probably take home the win over Dad there, just because my guy actually won. So 2 of them did. So, and then I had Hadjar. So, anyways, no Formula One this week. Let's get into NASCAR top 10 picks for this week at Michigan. Dillon, you are on the clock there, buddy.
Okay. So top 10 Michigan. Trying not to be boring here.
Okay.
Trying to go
Mixing it up. I like it. Mixing it
something.
up.
So we got plus 210 Ty Gibbs, top 10.
Oh, okay. Now,
Having to think
are you
outside
just
the box there.
are you just throwing stuff at a wall and seeing if it sticks, or what are you doing here?
Well, I'm trying to keep above 200. I want somebody that starts with a 2 because
Now,
that's it gives more value for the pick.
now is that the
But
goal this week with the higher pick? You're trying to pick higher odds people, is what you're trying
I'm
to do,
trying
or
I'm trying to pick who I think might have a good value to it. You throw a dollar on them. Ty, he's in a Toyota. He's had a few good finishes this year. Maybe this could be a race that he rebounds with and gets top 10 out of.
yeah, it looks like just looking at the averages here. Ty in his 3 races since 2022 in this car, he has 1 top 5 and 2 top 10. So you're looking pretty smart with this pick because he scored. He's been in the top 5 and or top 10. He's been in the top 10 3 times. So, with this technically, but
I like it.
yeah, I think you're looking pretty bright here, man. So, well, actually, I'm pretty dumb on that because I think one of those two is the top 5. So I'm a dummy when I'm reading the stats here. That's my fault, guys. I apologize. But hey, still a good pick though. So I was thinking 1 + 2 = 3, but that's not how that works.
Hey,
So
the only part that matters is he's finished inside the top 10 here before.
that's it. He's finished inside the top 10 twice. So look at there. You're smart on that one. So,
Yep.
all right.
He finished third here last year, actually.
See, look at
So
there. See, you're not. It's not too far outside the box. They just got him. They got him up in the on the plus because his running this year probably. So
yeah,
they probably didn't take a look at the whole stats over here. So, but all right. Dad went with Chris Buescher. I knew the old man was going to at least pick Buescher in one of these picks because Buescher's won here before. Buescher held off Martin Truex for like 40 something laps a couple years ago. Buescher's got 3 starts here, 1 win, 1 top 5, and then 2 top 10s. So let 8% as an 8% lap lead. So we knew Dad was going to pick that. That's low hanging fruit because he's only plus 115. So Dad's not going out on a super far limb there, but he is, I guess, going out because of the way the speed they've had this year hasn't really been there. So kind of going out on a limb, I guess. So, anyways, kudos to you, Dad, on that one. Not looking, I guess you're not, I don't know. I don't know what your thought process other than the win there was, but I'm going to go with somebody else. Somebody, Chevrolet. Going with a Chevrolet. Go like you, Dillon. I'm going high. I'm trying to get the best odds I can on this. That someone that can think and run in top 10. It's a Spire car. It's not the Spire car you're thinking about because his odds aren't that high. I'm going with Michael McDowell. Michael McDowell plus 425. I think he can hang around and get a top 10. That's what I'm going with.
I like it.
Can't hate the guy too much there to pick him. I mean, I think that the Spires have had some speed this year, so maybe that's translating over from Hocevar. So Hocevar's plus 100 to finish top 10. So they must know something. They must think him being at a home track, he's going to win this race. So, so that's why they got him too far down there. But too rich for my blood on that part. It's not enough going to be able to be made there on that. So that's why I went with the other Spire car. So, anyways, let's move along here. Moving up a little bit, up 5 spots, top 5. Who you got, Dillon? Who's your pick?
I'm going to throw something out there.
Oh, okay.
Top 5. I'm gonna pick the other Spire car, Carson
Oh,
Hocevar.
was he plus
Plus 275.
Okay, so you're staying with the 2 game. I like it. You're staying there. I got you. Now,
I like it.
What made you want to do that? What made you want to pick Carson Hocevar?
He's coming off of a good run, right? He got a top 10 last year with how his year went last year. So I feel like he's a step above this year from last year. So I think that he just has a little bit of momentum, a little bit of confidence. He may have learned of some from last week, and I don't think he's going to find himself around the 47. So he doesn't have anything to worry about there.
Okay. Oh, so you're saying Recky Spinhouse ain't going to be up there? Is what you're saying?
He's not going to, yeah. And I don't think they're going to be around each other for the 47 to get him back for anything this week.
Okay. Okay. Hey, you know me. I like picking Hocevar. I love it until it would. I did it for a long time, and the kid kept screwing me over. Every time I didn't pick him, he'd finish in in a spot that I usually would take him. So, I like the kid. Can he not get wrecked by Ricky Spinhouse? That's the issue, though. That's gonna be the big kicker because there's a wall, and I think he's got a date with it. So that's and Ricky doesn't set the date up. So, but no, I like it. Plus 275 is not a bad pick, especially with the speed they've had. So I like it. Going over to Dad's pick, He picked Joey Logano, which Joey's a great pick. I think Ford is going to be in the mix. He's not the Ford I'd pick, but he's definitely a good running fast Ford that knows how to block. Could be one of the factors that Dad picked. Probably is why he picked him. So I do see why Dad did it. All right. I'm going with a different. When you said out of the box tonight, you got me. You like earlier when we talked about it before the show, kind of went outside the box. I'm going out there with you, buddy. I'm going way out in left field for this one. Top 5. Going to throw it on top of the roof and hopefully it stays on top up there. I'm going Austin Cindric. Austin Cindric, top 5. Don't know how it's going to work for me, but I'm going for it. Plus 750. He's not the only Ford I'm going to pick. Just want to let you know that. Just going to let you know, and I think you know who I'm going to pick, but not the only Ford I'm going to pick. So let's get to top 3s. Who do you got?
I think I might be stealing one of your picks here.
Uh-oh.
I don't want to be too heavy on one manufacturer, so this is where I'm gonna use my Ford pick at.
Oh, I think I have a feeling who you're going to pick here. So
I'm gonna go with Ryan Blaney plus 240.
OYRB. Not a bad pick. Not a bad pick. Plus 240. I think most certainly he's going to be a factor for the win. So top 3, easy pick. Easy to be able to pick him to finish that high. So I'm right there with you on that. We'll see. But it does look like you and Dad chatted before the show because the old man also picked Ryan Blaney to finish top 3. So I don't know. Did you is that what the text you cheated? You looked at the text message, didn't you?
No, I do see that now. I knew he had picked somebody else in that lineup, but I didn't. I forgot about the Logano or the Blaney pick.
Yeah, no, he definitely went full forward. He went full forward until the winner. So I mean, I don't know what his obsession with always picking the same person to win the race is hilarious to me. So he went Blaney. He also went Blaney. So he got plus 240 on that.
You got to go with them when you got a team headset, you know.
That's fair. That's fair. Hey. I wasn't going to. I don't know. I wasn't going to use them at that point. I was going to actually flip and go with him on the win. But I think I'm going to pick. Oh gosh darn it! Gosh darn it! I had somebody in mind, and then I vacated that real quick. I'm going Will Byron. Will Byron's kind of back on the horse to me, so got the speed back in the car. I'm going Will Byron plus 240 also.
Mm-hmm.
It's I'm going Willie B, and then my obviously you can tell me who my winner is probably going to be, but
that was my original top 3 pick. I had him written down, and then I changed my mind.
It's tough not to have him anywhere, and I don't know why the last couple of weeks I haven't thought about him either a top 5 or a top 3 because I guess him coming off that run where Larson was able to sweep the points away from him. But now it's obviously ever since Indy, and I'm telling you, man, Indy, that double thing is cursed for Larson. Ever since then, the last 2 races, obviously the 600, he had his woes, and it's kind of the same deal, other than that car he spun obviously at Charlotte. Larson did, and he had a terrible car at Nashville. But I don't know why I did not think of Byron after Charlotte. I don't know why I didn't think about him to pick him, because seeing the downward trend of Larson, should have kind of seen that coming, the downward spiral, but well, at least for a couple of down weeks. But I don't think Larson. I don't think Larson has a good race this week. So I don't know. Not trying to get too ahead of myself on the winner picks, but I just don't know why I didn't pick Byron. I don't know why Byron wasn't on my radar is what I was trying to say, but he's going to be on my radar going forward. So that's what I was trying to say, lo and behold there. But anyways, without further ado, let's get to our winners. All right, big dog, give us your Toyota that you're going to win the race.
I I'm just gonna do it. I gotta go. I gotta go Larson. I
Oh
think
my
he's gonna bounce
gosh.
back.
So okay. So gosh darn it, I'm going to be on the opposite end of both times this weekend. Oh my god. Okay.
It's hard. I mean, there's two others that I was considering, but I don't know. I gotta stick with it. Well, I went Denny last week, so I'm gonna go with someone else this week.
Well, I thought you were going to go Denny back to back right here. I thought you were going to go Denny last week, Denny this week. Um, but you pulled a shocker on me on the Larson thing. I just kind of gave you my spiel, and Larson's not going to run good. And you're like, you know what? I'm going to pick him anyways. I'm going to pick him anyways. Basically, Trace, you're an idiot. Basically, is what. Yeah. So, anyways, I'm going to be odd man out this week because your boy picked Larson. Dad got him also plus 525. So I am going to be odd man out this week, unfortunately. So Larson's not going to win because typically he wins when we all three pick him. So unfortunately, he's not going to get the win, Dillon. I apologize. The guy who is going to get the win, and he's going to win, and he's in a Ford, and he's
Ooh,
a number
wow.
12, and he's gonna. Who'd you think though? Who'd you think I was going to
I
pick
thought
there?
I thought you were gonna go with Hamlin until you said
No,
Ford, and then I'm like, oh, of course.
yeah. I'm going YRB. I think Homie's got a little bit of momentum here. Ford's backyard. I think they get it done. I just for some reason that's what I feel. This is the second week in a row I picked the person that's won the previous week because I believe there is going to be another back to back winner. Thought it was going to be Ross with his past history at Nashville, but definitely didn't have the speed in that car like Blaney and them did. So, but Blaney's got hot hands right now. I think him getting the win, getting the monkey off the back, I think he's going to take home number 2 of the year, and it's going to be at Ford. I mean, at Michigan, where Ford's backyard over there. So I think it's going to get it done, man. Going to take Ryan Blaney plus 700 to get it done this week.
I think you're just getting back at me. I gave a whole spiel about how Blaney's not gonna go back to
Yeah.
back, and then you're like, you know what? I'm gonna pick him. He's gonna
But
go
dude,
back to
okay.
back.
It's funny you said that because I thought that right before you said it, and I was like, I think I'm going to pick Blaney this week. And then you said, there's no way Blaney goes back to back. There's no way. Yeah.
I'm
So
s- I'm I'm slightly contradicting myself with that by picking him for top three, but uh, I mean I still think he's gonna be up there in contention. I just don't think he's gonna pull off the win.
okay, okay. He definitely top 3 pick is good though. I definitely think he's going to be in contention. Could fall to a third place, or at least get to a third, easily. I think so. I think you're safe pick there. The Larson pick, obviously, I don't agree with you and Dad on that. Just because, obviously, I know we're all three Larson fans. I just don't think the slump is over. That's just my thing. I just don't think it's over. I think Willie B is going to take advantage of this, extend that points lead for another race because I think he's already 48 points ahead or something like that. So I think he's got like at least a race and a half, and it's not going to get any better at Mexico City. So I think it's going to be this race and next
We
race slump.
I think we may have some wild picks for Mexico City.
I I think so too. I don't. That whole race is going to be an oddball. It's been like what since mid 2000s when they went there with Xfinity back in the day. So I don't know. I can't remember what the course layout was. If it's going to be the same as last time too. So it'll be interesting to see that next week. But um, as far as this week goes, Michigan should be. I don't know. This car and this track just doesn't go together. Um, give me Gen 4 all day with this, and then we'll go. I'll be great. If we can go Gen 4 back at Michigan, even I mean, you don't even have to give me old Michigan. I'll take this Michigan. So, but let's get our dark horse pick in before we get chatting too much here, or if we chat at all. But who is your dark horse? For this week, Dillon. And if you're stopping by for the first time, dark horse picks have to be over 2,000 only odds, plus 2,000 or higher to be considered a dark horse for us. So, with that being said, Dillon, who are you wasting your money on this week?
Uh, you know, someone that's right on the line at plus 2,000 is Kyle Busch, and he finished fourth this last year at Michigan. He hasn't really had the speed lately that I think, to actually win. But I don't know. I'm gonna go with Kyle Busch. I
Okay.
like to see him get another win, so I'm gonna go with him.
I don't hate. First glance, seeing who was plus 2,000 and Kyle Busch being at the top there, I think that's an easy pick. Especially being he's KFB, so we know he can put it anywhere and go anywhere he needs to be. I think just the restriction on him is that car, but especially the RCR. But he can definitely, if there's anybody dark horse that could pull off a dark horse win, it's him. And it's weird saying Kyle Busch is a dark horse after all the years of success we've seen him. So it is sad to say, but I like the pick. Dad didn't give us a dark horse. So I'll just go ahead and give mine. A dark horse at this track, I could definitely see he's one of your guys that you've picked. Dark horse for the win is Ty Gibbs. I could see Ty Gibbs getting his first win at a track like this, being able to get out front, maybe on a late restart or pit stop cycle or something, and able to air block and hold anybody off to get his win. And he's plus 4,000. So if you want to take a flyer, you're going to make some money.
I think there's something to that is when you think of somebody's first win in the Cup Series, you don't really picture a Michigan or a place like that. You kind of picture either like a short track or super speedway, something like that.
That's true. Let me see here. I'm looking something up real quick. Um, I kind of agree with you on that. I could see where it'd be tough track like that. I do remember the time Larson got his first win there, though, 2016. So I mean, hey, anything's possible. I know it's old car,
Yeah,
but still, never
in a
know.
Ganassi car at that.
Yeah, dude. Oh my gosh, 2016. Um, a lot of close calls that year for Larson at Michigan, or not at Michigan, but in general with that, and it was just kind of that was a lot of young guns in that race. I think that was it. I know it wasn't his. Obviously, Larson's rookie year was in 2014, but his first win come in 2016. 2016 wasn't Chase Elliott. Chase Elliott was 2015, wasn't he? No, 2016 was his rookie year, I believe. Finished second, I think, to Larson at that race. I think that'll make all the Elliott fans happy. I think it
Yep,
was
he
Larson.
finished second.
Did Keselowski finish third or something like that, or
Yep,
Logano? It was, yeah,
Keselowski third, Blaney fourth, Kevin
yeah, that's
Harvick
what it
fifth.
was.
Carl Edwards was in that race.
Gosh, dang. Hey, Carl Edwards has been great on Prime. I'd love it. That whole interesting situation of him coming back, kind of like him kind of being in and being out, and it was a good kind of. I know he was back with the 75 greatest drivers and everything like that, but it's good to see him kind of like on the broadcast booth, especially on Prime. Prime's been hitting it out of the park, so been
Yep.
great. I enjoyed that. So,
Yeah,
you know who?
I've been enjoying the Prime for sure.
Yes, we talked about that earlier this week on After the Checker. I would pay a lot of money for Prime to do all 38 races. A lot of money to do a F1 TV style type situation subscription thing. Uh, I'd pay a decent amount if we got all the tools that they had to. But I don't know. What is it? Just gives like a trackside vibe when they do that stuff, like the before and after. And I know there's no limits with streaming and stuff like that, but it just feels like a whole game day type situation to me. That's just me, but
Yeah. No, it does. Yeah, I mean that was the first thing that came to mind when I saw the Coca-Cola 600 pre-show. It just seemed like college game day type experience,
yeah,
and I liked it. I mean, I thought it was great having the stage set up, on pit road out there, kind of close to the action. I don't know. I just thought the whole thing was was really good. So
Yeah, I agree. I don't know. It's a little. I wish we can get them for all 38. If they ever did the Daytona 500, which I doubt they would ever have a chance to with Fox and everything like that. If they had a pre-race show for like, if just pick, if imagine here, if we had our druthers Prime doing a pre-race show for the Daytona 500 would be wild. It would have to be outside. I know we're kind of going off the rails here, but I'm just saying, you got me thinking here on what could be maybe one day, hopefully, if they get into all these live sports and stuff like that. So it would be awesome if that could happen. So,
hey, we can
um,
dream.
yeah, I
No
know,
problem
no,
with that.
yeah. It looked like Dad did chat. Dad is on the chat. He said all tech this weekend. Anybody? So, I and anyways, old man, my situation. So, but I'm not gonna be able to make it because the old lady's got me hemmed up. So I'm only going to one race this week. So or this month. So, but I don't know. Trying to think what else we got. Was there anything else you wanted to hit on, Dylan?
No, I mean I think we pretty much covered it. We got our picks in. We talked about the race a little bit, and
Yeah.
yeah.
You know who else got their first wins? Two drivers, and then we already mentioned one. But do you know who the other NASCAR Cup driver got their first win at Michigan in 1991? Don't look it up. Don't look it up. You may have already looked it up, but who do you think? 1991 beat out Davey
1991
Allison. Yeah.
Cup Series.
Yep. Beat out Davey Allison in a photo finish. He does do
Trying to think of.
television.
He does television.
Yep. Not on Prime or Fox.
Hmm.
Trying to help you out.
Jeff Burton.
Nope.
No.
He's not, no,
Dale Jarrett.
not on Prime, not on Fox. Because
Is
didn't
Jeff
he
Burton
own
on Prime?
is he on
Yeah, he
Prime?
is on.
I think so.
No, 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 no. He's not. He's not.
He's not? Okay. My bad. My bad. Oh, Dad already answered it. Dad's on the
He
chat
said
over
Dale
here.
Jarrett.
Yep. That's what it is. You looked it up, didn't you? You looked at it on your screen, didn't you?
Me?
No. Oh no, I thought you were looking. I'm sorry.
No, no.
I was thinking say Dad going. But no. Yeah, Dale Jarrett. Dale Jarrett, classic guy. He's definitely one of the TV people I like. So yeah, he got the win. And Larson was the other one, 2016, which we talked
When
about that. So
the win was, I feel like that's too soon for. Let's see. Oh yeah, Jeff Burton's rookie season was 1994.
yeah. Here,
Hmm.
pull a second out. See if I can share my screen here. If I don't get in trouble here. There you go. Can you see it? Can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay. This is that's their finish on that. That's pretty cool. I truthfully I forgot about that. So obviously it was before we were well, I think before we were both born, I think you were
Yeah.
92 also, weren't you? Yeah, so yeah. No, pretty cool stuff though. It's a photo finish. It really was a photo finish. 21, 28. Oh, Robin Racing. That's old Wood Brothers car too.
He came from pretty far back
I know, right? That's kind of crazy.
to get that. Hmm.
All right. Anyways, we'll get out of here. We'll let everybody out of here. We'll get out of here ourselves. That was Pit Road Picks this week. NASCAR at Michigan. Hopefully, everybody else picks suck, and other than mine, other than Dillon's Ryan Blaney top three. Hopefully, Dillon hits his top three, but also hopefully I hit my winner on that one, so I can make some money on that. So hopefully, Dad's pick other than Blaney don't hit. So, but anyways, y'all have a great, safe weekend. We'll catch you on Sunday, possibly Sunday. I can't remember if maybe Monday for After the Checkered. We'll figure it out. We'll do another live after the Checkered on after the Cup race on Michigan, and then that'll be it. No Formula One this weekend, so it'll be a nice, smooth weekend. Not too much racing, so our wives don't kill us. But other than that, everybody have a great, safe weekend. Y'all be safe. Peace.